Atlanta News First Alert meteorologist JD Dishroon here. And as we make our way into the next several days, the good news is the sunshine is going to be sticking around with us. But unfortunately, we do have some stronger storms that are going to be returning to the forecast as we head into the middle of next week. And that's what's going to be leading us to our next First Alert weather day. That's going to be arriving for us as we head on in towards Wednesday. Now, for the most part, we do, still have the threat for strong to severe storms on Wednesday, but we've had a shift in the models a little bit. So they've kind of brought the storms a little earlier in the day. So now we're talking, during the morning hours and into the earlier afternoon. That's important because we're not going to have as much heat from the, heat of the day when those move through. So while the severe threat is still there, we're going to have to keep an eye on it because it doesn't quite look as bad as what we saw yesterday. Now, keep in mind, we're still 4 or 5 days away from this event, and new models are obviously going to come in and change as we get closer to the event. So it's still a day that we really do need to pay attention to. Meanwhile, today was absolutely gorgeous out there. We had a whole lot of sunshine. We saw temperatures climbing back up into the lower 70s for the afternoon, a good 10 degrees above our average of 62 for this time of year, and not quite as close to the record as we saw yesterday. The record was 80 set back in 2023. Meanwhile, our morning low, a little more on track with what you expect this time of year, only 3 degrees off. Let's try and do some quick math there. 45 compared to 42, which is the average, and thankfully nowhere near as cold as 13, which we haven't seen on this date since 1888. So it's been a hot minute there. Meanwhile, temperatures are falling pretty quickly from the 70s that we saw this afternoon. We're at 63 degrees right now during the 7 o'clock hour, about the same as we saw yesterday, and winds are still out of the west at about 8 miles an hour. Now, taking a look at temperatures across North Georgia, 63 here in Atlanta, same for Noonan, 62 in Locust Grove, so not that, far behind, but 59 in Dallas, same for Kennesaw and Gainesville, 50 in Hiawassee, and Blue Ridge looking at 55 degrees. So, a very typical February evening. Now, the other thing that's typical this time of year, well, especially when we have temperatures this high and winds as breezy as they've been, pollen count has skyrocketed. Remember, yesterday was in the 100s. Today, in the 600s, and I guarantee it's going to be high as we head into your weekend as well, really until we can get into Wednesday with those showers to knock a little bit of it out of the air. So really what we've got right now, perfect pollinating conditions for the trees and the plants and the flowers and all of that. So basically it's warm air, light winds to help spread it, and dry conditions. And you know what that means? High for Saturday, Sunday, and yep, even into Monday. Again, I'm not seeing a big drop in pollen here until we get the rain to knock it out of the air as we get into Wednesday. Meanwhile, the rest of the evening, if you're a pollen sufferer, take the allergy meds. The rest of us just enjoy it. But we are going to be cooling things off. Temperatures getting back down to the 40s by the time we wake up tomorrow morning, maybe a few degrees warmer than what we saw today. But again, otherwise fairly typical with temperatures in the suburbs looking to be into the mid-40s. So 44 in Carrollton, 46 Covington and Athens. Even the mountains looking in the 40s with 40 in Blairsville, 42 in Ellijay, and south of the town. A few degrees, warmer than that. 45 in Griffin and Thomaston, 46 Eatonton, and 42 in LaGrange. Now we're going to start off crystal clear tomorrow morning. That's helping our temperatures get back down into the 40s. Meanwhile, as we head into the afternoon, the sunny skies are sticking around. And honestly, picture perfect. Hit the patio, enjoy a nice glass of wine, a cocktail maybe, soda, or a glass of water if you don't partake in the boozy beverages. Either way, there's going to be something for everyone out there with a beautiful day. Now, temperatures across most of Georgia are going to be, for the most part, 60s north of I-85 and then 70 south of I-85. You'll notice that was 74 in Thomaston, 75 Eatonton, but 68 in Rome, same for Gainesville, 66 in Canton, 62 up in Ellijay and in Helen. Now, tomorrow, nice. Sunday, you'll notice this is the upper air temperatures. So this is kind of one of the things we'll look at when we have another front moving through is there support in the upper levels of the atmosphere? In this case, yes. Even though we're kind of on the edge of it, you can see those blue colors nudging in here for Sunday, and that means a big drop in our temperature. So 73 on Saturday, yay. 58 and windy on your Sunday. So definitely not going to be as pleasant. Not a bad day by any stretch of the imagination. It's just definitely after we kind of been spoiled on Saturday, not going to feel as great out there, especially with that pretty stiff breeze kicking up as we go throughout the day. Notice though on Sunday, clouds, even though just a few of them, starting to work their way back into the forecast. And we're going to notice by the time we get into next week, slowly but surely the clouds are going to build each and every afternoon. All of that leading us up into Wednesday. And that's where we have a cold front, a very strong cold front that's going to be moving in towards the southeast. Now, unlike the colder air that we're seeing coming in on Sunday, this front will have precipitation with it. And that's going to be sparking off showers, storms, and the potential for severe weather. So Again, want to emphasize, as of right now, models are bringing this in a little bit earlier in the day. So notice by 5 a.m., we've already got showers up into Floyd County, up into Murray, Whitfield counties over towards Fannin and Gilmer. And then that will continue to slide across with the line of storms entering those areas by the time we get to 9 a.m. So it looks like, unfortunately, by Wednesday's morning commute, it's going to be a little bit dicey out there. Now, the good news is for most of us, even though we have rain in the picture, I think the actual severe weather is going to hold off until you're already at the office. So that's some good news there. But moving through the city by about 10 to 11 o'clock, and by 1, really starting to leave. So we'll get a little wraparound moisture on the backside of this. And that really, though, should even be gone by the time we get to 4 or 5 o'clock. So it is a quick-moving system, but unfortunately, for your evening commute, we're still going to have some very wet roadways. And we all know how folks like to drive when the roads are wet. I'd give yourself a little extra time as you head out the door on your way home from work Wednesday, trying to move in towards Thursday. Now, overall, though, it's a pretty decent 7-day forecast here. We're going to be noticing that Saturday, beautiful. Sunday, mostly sunny. Monday, partly cloudy. Tuesday, cloudy. Wednesday, stormy. You'll notice, though, the temperatures do rebound nicely. So Sunday, we are back into the mid-upper 50s. But on Monday, we're talking mid-60s, 70 for Tuesday, 70 again on Wednesday with the storms moving through. And then there's that big drop in temperatures that we mentioned for Thursday. So we're going to be seeing temperatures back down into the mid to upper 50s. Mostly sunny skies, and then by the time we get into Friday, mostly cloudy skies. Skies are going to begin to rebuild with the cloud cover as we wrap up next week, because it looks like by the time we get to, not tomorrow, Saturday, but a week from that, into the extended period, it looks like another front is going to slide its way. And this one doesn't look like it has as much of a severe potential, but it does have the chance for showers and a few storms to roll along with it. The other thing I want to point out, though, is as we head into the weekend, look at those temperatures Saturday into Sunday. Those are going to be near freezing for a lot of folks. So if you've already started your gardening, I would definitely cover the plants and get them protected as we go Saturday night into Sunday, because even if we don't hit that 32-degree mark, it does have the potential to see a lot of frost in the region. So keep that in mind. And that's not great for plants out there. So the good news is, I think once we get past this particular cold, I'm not even going to call it a cold snap, but this particular little, cold front, I think we're going to be done with the frost as we head into the end of the month, or the beginning of the month of March, I should say, because tomorrow is March 1st. Extended period does have us relatively warmer throughout most of the month of March, so that is some good news there. Meanwhile, after that, we warm things up. 40 degrees Monday morning, 47 Tuesday, near 60 with the storms rolling in early Wednesday, and then notice we drop. But after that front, we don't drop back into the 30s. The suburbs will, upper 30s for Thursday morning, but I think the city's looking at 40, and then 41 on Friday, and then even warmer than that Saturday morning because of the next round of showers that are going to be pushing on in. So overall, we do look to see a pretty good forecast out there as we head into the next several days. Otherwise, get out there, enjoy your weekend, and then, Sunday, if you're going to be out and about, enjoy it. But you definitely want to have a nice little jacket with you. Don't forget, if you're ever going to be looking, especially as we get into Wednesday with that first alert weather day, if you're looking for live radar in the palm of your hand, you can always get that with the First Alert Weather app. In addition to the radar, you can get hourly forecast and your 7-day forecast all in the palm of your hand. It's pretty easy. All you have to do is go to your iOS or your Android app store and then search First Alert Weather. That will do it for us this evening. If you got any questions, just drop them in the comments, and we will be more than happy to get to them as quickly as possible. Other than that, I hope you have a wonderful evening and a beautiful weekend.